E-collars, good or bad? You let me know what you think and I'll let you know what I think. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Dave Kurlander, animal behavior specialist and researcher and host of the Pack Animal Podcast. And today we're going to talk about proper conditioning of an e-collar. So there's a negative stigma wrapped around e-collars because of how they're used. You can use them in a positive way or a negative way, pretty much like any device, like a leash. You know, you can use a leash to provide a gentle, mild correction, or you could whip your dog with it, which I don't recommend. So when we look at e-collars, it's all about the conditioning process. So there are many, many beautiful devices out there. Some are a little more potent than others. Some give you a range from 1 to 7, and some give you a beautiful large range of 0 to 100. I kind of prefer the ones that give you the larger range because I feel like you can fine tune them a little better and work more on the mild level. But regardless of which one you select, you always want to do a conditioning process that builds positivity. So the first thing I would recommend when doing this is to start with the e-collar. Don't turn it on, just put it on the dog. Give a treat, take it off. Put it on, give a treat, take it off. Do that 10 times in a row. Put it on, go for a walk, put it on, play. Whatever you can do, whatever your dog loves and what you think is positive, put that collar on first. Now, it's not a matter of the dog getting used to the weight of the collar. It's more about getting the dog to build a positive association. So when your dog sees this collar, he should be like, yeah, I really want this collar on, because all that collar has ever done was provide positive. That would be your first stage of what I would consider a 3-part conditioning process. Once you've achieved that, after let's say 2 to 3 weeks of doing that, personally, I do that for about 2 months before I actually turn that collar on. But I guess it depends on everybody's, timeline and necessity for the collar. But let's give it like a 2 or 3 week period for stage 1. And then when you move to stage 2, we can move into the actual usage of the collar. At that point, you would turn it on, go to the lowest possible setting, and again, build another positive association. So for instance, what I would do is I would turn that collar on, low stimulus, and just give the dog maybe a simple come command. Now remember, it's not about the come command. Your dog may or may not know that command. This is all about positivity. So what I do is I basically run backwards and say, come, and hit that button with every single come command. Get the dog happy. Get him running over to you. Let him know that the collar is nothing but an extension of your hand. Now your hand won't hurt him, so neither will the collar. So essentially, come, a gentle tap of encouragement from the collar. What you're doing here is you're not only building familiarity on the stimulation, but you're building an association, your voice to the actual stimulation of the collar. Come, this is me. Come, this is me. Come, this is me. So don't fail to hit that collar every single time. Now, of course, you have to really be cautious about this. You don't want your collar to impede on your dog's ability to come to you. So I say come, and the dog goes like this, and now he's looking around. What was that? That level of confusion is why most dogs show what we would kind of see as like fear. Really, sometimes it's not fear. A lot of these dogs are very tough. They could take a lot of stimulation on their necks, so we would have to figure out what levels are going to be effective and not. But at this stage of the game, you want to just do the lowest possible setting, regardless if your dog is showing you any reactions to it whatsoever. You know, sometimes if you hit it, the dog might not even look like it might not even look like it's working on the dog. But the fact is that your dog does feel it. He just might feel a gentle tap on the shoulder. Now, most dogs will show that fear because it's like us having an ant on our neck. What was that? You know, it didn't cause me pain. I didn't know where it was coming from. I couldn't identify it. So at this stage of the game, we're going to determine whether your dog has a certain tolerance level, confidence level, if he's confused, and we have to really work cautiously from this level. So what I suggest is have a leash on your dog, turn that collar to the lowest possible setting, and for about a week straight, just come. Next week, turn it up one level, come, until you see the dog actually show some sort of a visual reaction, meaning that there's a twitch of an ear, or perhaps your dog looks around. At that stage, stick to it for as long as you possibly can until your dog acknowledges the fact that you are doing the stimulation. not some magical bee that we can't identify. Because remember, fight or flight. And what you can't see, you can't fight. So you wind up running. And that's how we wind up losing our dogs off leash with an e-collar. Now, no device is infallible. So definitely don't go out and put an e-collar on your dog and let him off leash and be like, hey, he's gonna listen now. Because again, like I said, anything can take precedence over the stimulation. In the home, level 1 on your collar might be just the right amount. Outside, when your dog sees another animal and all of a sudden that adrenaline starts kicking through their body, remember, their body is preparing to sustain damage by going after another animal. So the adrenaline is just flowing through their body, and 100 on that collar might not do a damn thing. So we really have to gain a really long conditioning process. Don't rush it. Really don't rush that process. Take your time with it. Get that dog so happy on level 1, stage 1 and stage 2 of the conditioning process. Stage 3 is developing tolerance levels. Now my dog is comfortable. Now my dog knows the collar is positive. Now my dog knows that that the low-level stimulation is just not a correction, it's just me encouraging him. Now I can start turning that dial up to see what's gonna actually stop my dog in the heat of the moment. And that would be reserved for only those moments. A final thought to this conditioning process, and keep this in mind, is that you are always striving to get rid of this device. Some devices are absolutely wonderful to get us to our goal, but dogs are born without leashes and collars, and they don't run away from their pack. So all we're doing is we're just trying to get to our goal, wean the collar off, and get rid of it altogether. Hey guys, if you like what you've heard and you want to learn more about my methods and techniques, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.